y'all, it's Monét, and you're watching a special edition of The Exchange Rate, where today we're discussing love and sex. All right, so we're kicking it off real deep. Define a power bottom.
Define a power bottom?
Yeah.
Remy?
Well, I think a power bottom is someone who just can just take it at any position, any sort of angle, whether it be like, who has a nice arch. And, like a real power bottom doesn't, I've never met a power bottom who cares about coming themselves.
Oh, so you think power bottoms don't necessarily want to come?
They just care about their top. They care about whether the top comes or not. And then, not that I don't care.
I'm sorry, I'm taking back my power.
Reclaim your...
I'm like, for me, like, as a power bottom, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna bottom like a top. Like, it's about me. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome for that service, and I'm gonna come and use your dick like a top thinks they're using me. Absolutely
That's
not.
why you have power in front of bottom. It's because you have the power.
There's different like levels of power bottom. There's like a power bottom who like, I've had power bottoms who like definitely, I feel like I'm getting fucked. And then I have power bottoms who are just like, I'm a whole, use me. And like,
I feel like that's a sub more than a power
Right,
bottom.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm a sub. That's what I am.
You're
Yeah, I just lay there and take
Not
it.
just lady.
Yeah. That's what that is? No? Okay.
I mean, I may be big, but I put in the work, okay?
Right, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's like literally power bottom. I think a sub is someone that's like, just use it.
but you can have
bottom
but
is
you can have
like-
power in being a sub too.
Yeah, but I feel like as a power bottom, like you have to take full control of the dick. Like there's like you go and your rhythm is at my pace, when I want, how I want. You're not gonna come until I'm ready for you to come.
I like how you move while you say
I
it.
This is
How I want.
This is
when I
my
want.
ride. You shut up and sit there. Take it. You know what I mean? That's how I feel that a power bottom is. Like I'm controlling this.
Right, you waited in line to ride this
Yeah.
roller
Like
coaster.
maybe that's like a dom bottom.
What?
Like no, like
I don't know
you
why
could
you're
be
bottom shitting right now.
I'm not-
All over, baby. Wow.
I'm just saying like there's like I feel like a power bottom is maybe it's like it's an umbrella term and then there's little different categories of it.
Subcategories
I think
of-
like
What are
It's
the
layered.
And
It's
I feel
layered.
like a power bottom can take any size of dick. With no complaints. I cannot. No. You can't call yourself a power bottom and you can't take a 10-incher. I'm
no,
sorry.
I thought you meant like small. I thought because like I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's kitty fucking. I'm talking about.
Wait,
no.
pity fucking
I feel
is
like no. I feel like a
fucking
real
small
power
dick.
bottom can take like a 4-inch dick too.
Oh no.
I mean, one of the best sex I've ever had was
That's
with
a
a small
soup kitchen.
dick,
That's
so.
good.
Not
That is
soup
like-
kitchen.
You gotta pay me for
Oh
that.
my God.
I can't. No.
Let's not shame people with small dicks right now. Wait, so you just said that there are umbrellas under the power bottom. What is the umbrella under the top, like power tops? Because I feel like when we say power tops, you only think about tops who are in control and like bam, bam, bam.
Right.
So when you have the definition of power bottom, why does it have to have all these subcategories?
Well, because tops don't really matter. Like there's but I feel like just like bottoms are the one where we like like do we need to categorize tops?
that's
really? They just
interesting what you say.
good tops and bad tops.
Yeah.
that's it.
We can
That's it.
categorize
Yeah.
them.
For
That's
example, Chris is wearing a
night-
very bad top right now.
That's the one who got bleach spots all over her sweater.
Okay, what is your biggest turn on? Kiki?
Turn on or off?
Turn on.
Oh, the tease.
Tease.
I like to tease like to no end. And then I finally fuck.
What is your definition of tease?
Yeah.
Anything. You can start like while you're out to dinner and you're like whispering into their ear and feeling that and doing all that. Like kind of like, I like to be worshipped a lot. So, yep. Right? So the
Okay.
tease and worshipping is what gets me.
Tease. Okay.
I like recording and group sex. That's my like a lot of times I'll be recording something and like or I have to record to like come sometimes. Like I'm like
record
Like
whatever's
point of
happening
view?
in front of you.
yeah, I sort of
See,
like sometimes I'll be like, oh, okay, I can't come. Then I'm like, let me just.
voyeur.
I'm like, I'm not gonna like actually keep this. I'll delete it, but like I'll.
I don't ever
record
believe
it.
that. That's always
Yeah,
a
no,
fucking
no.
farce.
I'll just take their phone. I'll be like, let me use your phone, and then I'm like, yeah, then I can come.
Really?
And like a lot of my own videos are super short because I'm like, I get too turned on, and I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta turn this off for a while and like really concentrate again.
So basically,
Yeah.
you're
I
saying
have all my videos.
Oh,
like,
of course.
I can never let anybody have them. Like, and then I'll show my friends. That's as far as it'll go. But I have to show it to you. Like, look, bitch, That's just how I was send it because I am just I
I
can't.
want my shit to get leaked.
Wait,
I'm
Okay,
like,
me too.
Wait, just
Come on, Kim K.
Wait,
Let's go.
first of all, that's free press.
Let's
That's
go.
free promo, like, you know.
I'm waiting until
You know-
my 15 minutes is
Wait,
up.
can we
That's
just
when
go
I'm-
back to Remy? So you prefer to have an orgasm literally just while watching yourself.
No,
have sex.
sometimes I have to. Like, I have to be recording myself fucking for me to
come.
because, like,
So you just love watching yourself.
Yeah, you're narcissistic. Narcissistic as
That's
fuck.
fine. We're all narcissists.
listen,
I
that's
don't
putting
know
work.
that it's about that though. Like, do you think that it's maybe like the fact that it's something that you like, that
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't be doing? Because I feel like sometimes if I'm like video chatting with someone on Instagram or like whatever, like sometimes the sending videos back and forth turns me on probably more than actually having sex with the person. I think it's this like
Yeah.
this idea of like
lead-up.
It's like a little
watching-
spice
Yeah.
to make it
Right.
Oh no, I'm the
Right.
opposite. I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate sending pictures. I'm like, let's just get to physical.
It's
like,
almost-
I can't. Okay, wait, just one more picture. Do you have another?
No.
Oh no, see, that's wasting your motherfucking time.
Yeah.
One time I got discouraged when sending pictures. I sent a nude and the woman was like, "Oh no, I'm not like that." And I was like, "Okay, so we're gonna read books." I guess so.
What is your biggest turn off?
Spit.
Spit. Okay, so talk about this spit thing. I just don't understand.
Okay, I don't know, because I used to be cool with spit. I used to like, be spit on my back, call me I'm a slut, all that stuff like doggy. I liked it. And then I don't know what flipped the switch, but now if like someone's like licking on my nipples and I'm just like, like I can't. Wow. It just like freaks me out. If it's done nicely, like not too much spit, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you're like slobbering on me, or if you're slobbering on my pussy and that like dribble happens.
What if that's
You know
your
that
pussy
little-
juice?
Yeah, that's could
No,
be
I
you
know.
differentiate. It could be you.
No, I know when it's me. You know what I mean? Like
You
there's
know your
that-
body temperature. You're like, nope, that's not me.
Yeah, that was too
Yeah.
cold. That was
That
too
was too
cold. That
cold.
ain't me.
And then it's just
Consistency's
like
wrong.
it grosses me the fuck
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Patty, do you have any turn-offs?
I don't know. I don't think I've like defined what my turn-offs are yet. For me, it's like if I'm having sex with someone, the only time I'm like really like turned off of is if someone isn't like present or connected.
Yes,
That's the
that's
only
it. It's like
time.
you have to be
If you're like
involved.
trying to talk to me and like tell me what to do, and I feel like we're getting too in our heads about it, I'm like, we gotta call this because like I can't be like given direction or like feel like we're not on the same page.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel like they're off in some other world and I'm over here, then I'm like, no, we're done here.
Quiet sex is
I cannot. That's
Quiet. Ew.
that is the hugest turn off for me. Like if you're like mute, like look here, I am swallowing all of you down. I need you to know, motherfucker.
Right? Just,
I am like throwing it back at you. I need you to at least grunt something.
I remember.
Like if you're just sitting there like, and I'm like, grunt. Like I'm like, oh,
Or
I
maybe you're just not doing a good job.
can't. No, bitch.
no, I remember.
I have never had a complaint, sis.
I remember I was having sex with
I have
someone.
repeat offenders.
And it was like, and it wasn't they were being quiet, like they were moaning, but then I was like, oh yeah, you like that? And she was like, I guess. And I was like,
Oh, you should never say
and
that.
I was like, because I knew exactly what kind of girl she would like. She was a very like bougie. She was like, she would never let me know like that it was good, even though I was like, I clearly hear you moaning. Like I know.
Yeah.
She said you are a coach, not a
But she was like,
product.
I was like, yeah, you like that? And she was like, I guess. I was like, oh no. I
She's
stopped.
giving you a hard time.
I
I like
stopped
her.
immediately. I was like, this is what we're.
I'm like work because I hate when people are like, yeah, do you like that dick? I'm like, obviously, I'm putting in the fucking work. Like, what do you need me to?
Sometimes I don't
what do you
like
need
the
me to
dick and I
say?
still do it.
Yeah, it's like, but that's
Yeah.
the thing though. It's like, do you want me to lie to you in this moment? Because I could be just trying to get through this, and you being like, do you like this? Do you want? I'm like, honestly, no. Like, I bow out.
Well,
Yeah.
then stop. I don't know. I couldn't imagine
the
like
biggest
going
turn off.
through with something and then not actually enjoying it. Like I knew, because I was friends with this person, right? And I just, it was just like very like, oh, this is finally, we're actually having sex, finally, right? And then so she's just like, I guess, because whatever. And I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna go back to talking. We're not gonna do this anymore. And I was just like, oh, I can't. But I thought it was a bad bitch move too. I was like, you know what? Go off. I love telling that story too. Because I was like, never heard that before.
The turn off for me is BO and bad kissing. Those two.
Bad kissing.
I mean, I know some people are into BOs. I just want my man smelling like Old Spice and tasting like artificial. Like
Is that better
I
sense
can't.
than Old Spice?
I can't.
I know for Patty does not like. Patty likes.
You like BO?
Yes, I live for it.
What
I
kind
like,
of BO though?
Okay, there's like
different
natural
levels.
There's
deodorant
different
type BO?
Yeah, they're different. No, I don't wear deodorant. I'm not into it. I don't like it. I don't like it when dudes do because like I'm really.
I don't wear deodorant if I'm not gonna work.
Yeah, and I like really am into armpits, and I like putting my face in them. And if I put my face in them and I get like a chalky taste back, like actually that's a turn off. We found one.
Note to self.
Right, but I don't like when it's wild. Like sometimes dudes have BO, or like anyone has BO to the point where like it kind of gives you a headache. Has anyone experienced that?
Wait, so
being
wait,
in a room with
I have a
someone where you're like,
question.
oh my god, my head hurts. Like, please leave the room.
I have a question. I hope this question is
There was-
not offensive to other people, but like if you walk past, let's say like a semi-homeless person and that person smells,
No,
like does that
I
turn
mean,
you
but
on
that's
kind
like
of a thing?
that's different. That's
Okay.
like being a
No,
smelly
that's-
person.
Right, that's being not
What's the
clean.
difference between
Right.
BO and a smelly person?
Well,
Literally,
that's
yeah.
like pheromones, and like
Yeah.
I'm really attracted to that.
Like
if
fresh
I
from the
can-
gym
Right.
type of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
If I could.
No.
But sometimes poverty is eternal. I've had sex with a lot of dusty.
When the mattress is on the floor, when,
Ooh,
when
yeah.
you know they don't have a place to go to at night, and
That's hot.
they're gonna really fuck you. Like I've been there, you know.
They fuck you
listen,
so they have a place to stay.
right, I need breakfast in the morning, so I gotta give you the extra good dick.
Someone who needs a MetroCard swipe.
No.
MetroCard
I
swipe.
like, you know, just like sometimes, like, okay, no, because you don't give everybody the best dick every time. Sometimes you're like, oh, you're getting the 6. You know, you're getting the
Word.
Sometimes you get the 8, but then sometimes you got to give them the 11 out of 10 dick, because you know you want, like, damn, you know, I'm
You want to come back?
kind of broke right now. You know, buy me some food afterwards.
Wait, so I'm
You
trying to
know?
figure out like what makes you decide what kind of dick someone's getting.
You just say if you want to get, if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah,
eat.
Or
In the
just
morning.
like it's just like a casual hookup. Like it's just like, okay, I just want to get my rocks off. Like, you know, I'm coming over. I'm not gonna give you 10. I'm
Oh,
out
I
of 10.
always give you a 10.
Oh no.
Yeah.
bro.
Whenever I'm in bed,
When you
I
have
always give you
well,
a
I have a lot of sex, so like I'm just like no.
You can't exert that much energy all the
You
time.
must not know me and her.
Okay, next one. Lights on or lights off?
On.
on.
Somewhere in the
day
middle.
sex.
dim,
Off.
sexy dim.
Yeah.
Off.
All the way off.
I'm like
All
in
the
the
way
middle.
off.
All the way off, really, but you can't see nothing.
I don't want to see. I don't because then sometimes when you see, your eyes are too open. I don't want.
Well, you're talking to an Asian, so
Yeah.
that's
Oh my God.
No, but there was one time I was like hooking up, and this was when I was straight. What a sad time. But I was looking at this guy because the lights were on, and I could tell like he does not wash like his body that well.
Right.
Like I saw like some of the grime on the shoulder, and I was like, why are the lights on?
That's
I
what
don't need...
turned you gay. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I like a nice dim, like kind of
Yeah.
it's like right in the middle. Not on, not off, kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, because I had a
love
bad
day
experience. I
sex.
can't do that.
You like what?
Day sex.
Day sex.
Sunlight
That's fun
coming
too.
through the window, very like, oh, you know, like birds coming in. Like,
Natural ring light or
See, I like well-lit sex.
Well lit.
well,
It's either red lights, all red lights,
Okay.
or just
Oh.
full-on bright lights. I
Oh,
want-
production.
Yeah,
Bright
but
lights.
I feel I
Alexa.
always
yeah.
anytime boys kind of like try to dim lights, I'm like, no, dude, I am too fucking pretty for that.
Or,
Put on the lights.
or
Alright,
some people,
bitch.
you have to keep the lights on because I'm like, no, this is not that romantic. This is very much, I'm coming over, we're fucking, it's done in like 5 minutes.
And that's
you
why I
know,
like it
whatever.
well lit, because it's
But
like
then,
porn
but
sex.
then, no, right, but then some people don't, because you gotta have romantic sex sometimes. You gotta make love sometimes.
Does lighting
Sure.
have
You know.
to do with romance?
I think so.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Lighting can definitely
Yeah.
incite romance.
Yes.
100%.
The lights off, that's like, oh, like, I really like you. Like, we're, you know.
No,
this is-
I always have to
that's-
have some light. I have bad experience with that. No.
Really, under the covers, that's when I'm like, that's when we love each other.
I just get cold. I'm anemic.
Yeah.
Okay, do your friends' opinions of your partners matter?
Nope. I'm too
sexually?
grown.
Wait, what kind of partner? Like romantic
Yeah.
or sexual partner?
Romantic partners, sexual
Oh.
Sexual partners, no romantic
No,
partners.
oh my God,
absolutely.
my
partners. Really, your
lineup's
friend?
terrible.
No.
My lineup's terrible. So all my friends would just be like, him? her. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
So
it depends on which
romantically as well?
Romantically, no, I'm married now, so.
You're married, okay.
Yeah. Can you tell?
Come on, six husbands.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And all my friends love him.
Yeah.
Romantically, it kind of matters, but it only depends on like 3 friends. Opinions that that matter
Name
to
the
me.
friends. Fuck, marry, or kill.
It would be Carol, Myra, and Manila. Those are the only 3.
That
Their
count.
opinion mattered to me. For me to be like, if you meet them, like, but I haven't gotten there yet, and I would never introduce a guy to that one.
Why are you acting like I'm a homewrecker or
Because-
something?
no.
Because what?
Because God forbid.
Because what?
we
Give me
probably
the
hooked up with
receipt.
the same dude.
Give
and
me the
that's the
receipt.
last thing I want to know.
What was the reason?
I don't want to know that your mouth was on his dick too,
Well,
bitch.
that's just your insecurity,
That's also
not
New
mine.
York
Stop
City, though.
projecting.
That's
Right.
inevitable.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because like I could date someone that my friends have fucked.
No.
I could not. I could not.
No.
Could you date someone that your friends have fucked?
No.
I would let my friends fuck my significant other.
Can you?
Then they not my
Together.
friends. They not
That's
my
like
friends.
a white people thing, I
Yes.
feel like. It's always
Very beige.
It's a very white Caucasian
That
people.
is
I have
very alabaster.
Never met someone, not alabaster. I've never met like a colored person who's like, yeah, I let my friends fuck my, like it's, like, I always, every single time I talk to someone, it's usually like a Caucasian guy who says, I let my friends fuck each other.
Well,
Like,
I don't want my friends having sex with people I had sex with because I don't want the person who I had sex with change my narrative. Because I said they ain't shit, and now they linking up, and he talking and she talking, and I ain't shit. No. It's one-sided. I want my story to be the only story.
Got you. That makes sense.
that.
Yeah,
I like
but you don't
that.
think it's like fun when you can gang up on a person and be like, we both think they shit?
Well, I mean, I don't mind being shared by his friends, like to be passed around.
Wait. So the one guy you're fucking passes you on to the other friends?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Word.
so you just greedy, that's what you said.
I didn't say that it was fair, sweetheart.
Ain't no fun if the homies can't have it.
Maybe it's more that I don't want other people fucking without me. How's that?
FOMO.
Because that's
FOMO
kind of what you're
fucking.
saying, right? You're like, I don't
FOMO
want, I don't,
fucking.
yeah, I don't like
Okay.
want other friends of mine to hook up with like other people that I've hooked up with, but like we can all hook up together.
Yeah, but I just can't picture me putting my mouth on the dick after it's been in hers.
You just gotta suck it
You know
together.
what I'm saying? Well, no, but
Okay,
we're not that kind of
realize that the dick you're
Because we
sucking,
have history.
the dick
No,
you're
we do
sucking, many
not.
people her probably already sucked it too.
I know, but I don't want to know that. There are things that you just don't need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
fair.
everybody knows I'm community dick anyway, so it's like, you know, at least, like, come on, like,
That's why the girl said,
She's like, I'm gonna leave a 3-point.
You know when you've been in an Uber that's just been rode too many times?
oh
That's
my
your Uber pool right here.
Okay. Do you think the word tranny is offensive?
Yeah.
I feel like we should ask.
Well, we're all gonna give our opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear you guys first. This I gotta hear.
I grew up in an era, like when I first started drag back in like the early 2000s, it wasn't. Everyone just used it, even the trans girls used it, gay guys, like we just used it and it was more of like, hey bitch kind of a thing, hey tranny. So I feel like one person said that it was offensive and everyone kind of jumped the wagon on it. That's how I view it. I mean, my trans friends don't get offended by it, and I feel like I still kind of use it in my friends circle of friends, but I don't really say it in public because I guess some people do get offended by it.
I think when cis white males say it, that's when it's offensive.
Because it's derogatory.
Yeah, because
They're
it's
using it as
derogatory.
derogatory.
They, whenever they take a word or use it, it's just, you know it's wrong. It's coming from a bad place.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was never a word that was ever really in my vernacular to start. And then when the conversation started happening that it's a word that like shouldn't be used and that it was derogatory, immediately as a cis white male, I'm like, okay, heard, like I won't, but you know, it's interesting because it's like I've worked for a trans person before and they use the word freely, even when it came down to like tasks that I had to do, like go pick up my like T-wig or whatever. But there's something that I would never repeat back. But you know, so it's like it's an interesting situation because like I would never say it, and I'm kind of like it's not my place to say when and where it can be used, and
Totally.
yeah, it's not
You don't own the
for
word.
me. Yeah.
It's like the N-word.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not my
100%.
place.
But I also-
don't have it. I'm not allowed to have an opinion.
But I
As a
also heard
cis-white
that
male.
tranny also means like transvestite. Like there's a lot of
There's a huge
branches
umbrella underneath
down.
it.
the
For
term.
me, growing up in nightlife and the drag world, tranny was always like a badge of honor, or
Right.
like
You're fishy
like
and
you're fishy, you're
pretty,
beautiful,
yeah.
you're gorgeous. That's what that meant. Now, fast forward a few years in, it's like all of a sudden it's taboo. You're not supposed to say it. The word that I am very offended by is she-male.
Yeah.
That
Right.
or like, and then also it depends on who says it and how it's said. Like when I text Monet and Jazz all the time, like, hey tranny, because for me I feel like they're beautiful and I feel like it's a sign it was always like a badge of honor. So when you say somebody is fishy, they're tranny, it's like you're a goddess. Like, but now it's turned into like some people are offended by it, and I respect people's opinion when it comes to if certain girls don't want to say don't want to be referred to that or called that, I will never offend them, and I don't want to. It's also depends but with girls that I know that it's meant in love and in it's like I said, a badge of honor. Like I can play with that with them, but kind of like the N word where you're like, oh,
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, like Patrick, like I never. It's not something I would ever use. Like you know what I mean. Like I have trans friends like in my immediate circle that like always like get me to say it. Like they're like you don't have to. And I'm like, okay, well, still not good. It's not part of my vocabulary, you know.
Yeah.
And again, like yeah, it's just, and it was definitely a culture shift. Like I remember, like my first like big relationship was with a trans woman, like way back in the day, and I learned everything about like what it was to be trans, and like about like even just terms like fishy and like blah blah blah. Like I learned all, and then I was like, oh, a lot of the terms that I'm using should really only be used by trans women, because by used as like a cis male, it's just sort of like, it's like you're a guest to these terms. Like, you know what I mean? Even like people who use certain like slang words where it's like, you're an outsider, you sound kind of crazy saying them. Like, you know what I mean? And so like for me, I was just like, okay, so, well, I learned that. And there's like, again, it's just been like a huge culture shift in like what's okay. And like, you know, especially with trans people just being so visible and now, and with not as many protections, it makes things sort of like difficult. It's like where to, who can say what and what's offensive, and you should just leave it to like, just listen to trans people about it, you know?
Love that. Okay, how do you like your relationships, opened or closed?
Closed.
Closed.
But working to be open. So I know that with my husband, we've talked about it, that eventually we will be open, because I feel like I've worked in the sex industry forever, and being a receptionist in a brothel and watching these married men come in and not like go and have sex and miss that intimacy with their wife because they're not open, it's all secret. Like, why not just pay a provider and be open? You know what I mean? I always said to my husband, if you want to go and have sex, pay someone. They don't want your number, only for rebookings. They don't care about.
I like
They
those.
don't care about your feelings. They're just like,
Right.
like, you know, and
Pay
like
somebody. That's
caring-
actually, that's so good. Pay somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Pay
love
somebody, honestly, because there's no like kikiing over the water cooler and getting to know each other and catching feelings.
that. Yeah.
But I
That
think
bitch
that
isn't gonna catch feelings.
I think the issue is that it's the thrill. Like when it's open, then it's kind of like, the reason why it gets messy is because they cross the line
that's
with the
right.
openness, because it's not fun when, oh, I can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's whack. But like, if I'm sneaking off, then that's more fun.
It's a taboo thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's the thrill.
Well, I think that's when people who want to cheat. Like that's something
Yeah,
that's like a
honestly.
cheater. Like you know what I mean? That's someone who doesn't want an open relationship. They want to cheat.
They want to
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like I've only really been in I've tried one open relationship before, and it was because we didn't live in the same state. And he was just like, you do whatever you want in New York, but when you come to Philly, we're together, and just don't bring no STDs over. So
Yeah.
like, you know, but like, you know, I'm very much open to open relationships now. Like I just realized I'm a natural flirt. I like, you know what I mean? I don't want to feel guilty like for just like responding or reacting the way I normally do.
Yeah.
And sort of like, and again, like I I like to watch my significant other get fucked by other people. Like, I think.
Yeah, that's hot.
It's
That's
hot.
the part I'm not sure.
You know,
I don't want to see it.
Well, I stay on the fence because like I don't have a relationship to speak of, so
Okay,
I'm just
word.
like, who knows?
Free agent.
Well, but in my previous relationships, like in one of them, like I cheated, and it didn't have anything to do with like really wanting to cheat or like wanting to hurt the other person. Like I think at that juncture, emotionally, I wasn't sure what I wanted. And then another relationship basically ended because we sort of weren't able to like meet each other.
In the middle.
In the middle when it came to sex, and we were having a lot of, similar to like what we talked about earlier, like we were having a lot of conversations around sex, and like it became a thing that like when we had sex, I was just in my brain trying to like do the things that they wanted or like be the person they wanted to be. Like it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. And we like sort of discussed like, okay, well, what does it look like having an open relationship? But we didn't feel like we were at a place to open it yet because we weren't comfortable with each other. So like intellectually I understand open, but
Do you consider yourself a
emotionally,
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a pleaser?
Like in what way?
Like, do you like to please people or like see them being pleased by you?
Yeah, I think so.
But I also know that like not everyone is like an all-purpose person. Like I can never give someone
Everything you want.
and I don't ever want to be someone's 100%. So I understand that like I can give someone 90 or 95, and I'm never threatened by the 10 or the 5. As in 95, like if that person, if like you like,
So you think
like,
you're 95? I thought you were
of the
Uber
time.
pool.
I could be both. You know?
I love that.
You still get Uber pools in a nice Cadillac sometimes. You know?
But I have a
but-
broad type, so it's like you're like I'm always going to look at other dudes that are different than you and be like, ooh, what's that like?
Right, and
Yeah.
people don't stop being ugly as soon as you get into a relationship.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And like again, like if someone's into something that I'm not into, like I don't like that rough stuff, and you know, and I might be dating someone who is into that stuff, and I'm just like, you know what, babe, you go do that, and have fun. I'm not into that.
I think it's rough being a lesbian because I think when you're open in when it's like male gay, it's more of an understanding.
Right.
But like especially in the lesbian circuit in New York, it's so freaking small.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, oh, they done already hooked up.
Really?
Yes.
Lesbians?
Yes, lesbians.
There's so many lesbians in the city, though.
Oh, honey, no. I'll go somewhere and somebody will be texting my ex, like, I'm like, damn, I can't go nowhere? Am I famous? Maybe, but I'm just saying. Like,
Maybe you just a hoe.
No,
You said what everyone has.
not in the lesbian world.
Gotcha. Okay, because it's a small community. Yeah, I like Kiki. I like us starting closed and then we venture to
Yeah.
openness because I think the big thing for me is trust. It's
Right,
like if we're gonna be in an open relationship, I need to know that I can trust you, that you are fucking paying for it, and you're not, kikiing with fucking Jigglepuss over at the fucking water cooler.
I feel
Not
like,
water cooler.
but for me, I feel like when it comes to relationships with trans women, I feel like a lot of times, because it's so taboo, it's a lot of men still don't have that
Courage.
the courage to actually openly and really date a trans woman.
Yeah.
I've had some like experiences in like trying to date, and just recently I had a chance to be in a relationship, but it just didn't work out. It was like I feel like I know I messed up the relationship, but there were things that he did not understand about me and my life that he was just trying to like understand instead of like.
Also, I feel like you're in a difficult situation because you're such a well-known person. I feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
but I
so
feel
public.
like, but it's still also very taboo. Like,
It is taboo. I
for
don't think it should be taboo.
a lot of men still feel that way. Granted, he was very openly like dating, taking me out and stuff, and that's how he found out about Jiggly. But what I'm accustomed to when it comes to men is like, oh, they'll take me on a date, but it's like at like the darkest, dimmest fucking Chinese restaurant in Chinatown, and I'm like.
Why
No,
gotta be
like,
Chinese?
It's just, no, but sort of like a lot of men who you date, it's sort of like their first first experience, and
Yeah.
like you like open relationship. No one's first relationship is like an open relationship. So a lot of people's experience with you is like their first time, and it's like maybe that's just like that's.
And I always feel
it's
like
a
the
beginner.
teacher.
Yeah. And you can't just start off with that. You have to like learn and kind of grow into that as like even just as a person, as a dater. You can't just like jump into something.
But I feel like you're touching on a very touchy subject about dating a trans woman is taboo, because I feel like that also happens within our own community. Like, I might be out in a town and like I see a guy with a trans woman, and like some of the people around me is like, oh, you know he's gay. I'm just like, no, that's not what even within our own community, just because a guy is with a trans woman, some homosexual will be like, oh, you know that queen is a queen. Like, I was like, no, that's not what it means at all.
Yeah.
You know, so
Gays are judgy, girl.
gays are judgy.
Describe the last person you had sex with in 3 words.
Puerto Rican, big dick.
That's
18.
literally like 8 words right now.
No, I thought it was two.
Puerto Rican.
Oh my god. So am I
Big
supposed
dick.
am I supposed to just say Rican?
Okay. You're
Or is it-
Rican.
Oh my god. Rican cock 18.
18? Oh no, I cannot fuck with 18-year-olds.
Did you check their ID?
I did.
Oh.
Oh god, okay.
I have a scanner and everything.
At the door, you're like, give your ID.
Decline.
Decline, get out.
Please insert the chip. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Be the last person. Oh, 6'6". Ooh.
6 dicks?
Is that a word?
Did you say 6 dicks?
That's 2 words. That's 2 words,
Monet.
Monet.
Very tall.
Oh.
Rican. No, sorry, Ukrainian.
Oh.
And uncut.
You said 3 words, right?
He had a hoodie?
Rican,
I said
Rican,
it
Ukrainian,
proper.
uncut.
You say that, yeah.
Okay, mine was literally last night, trapped, weak stroke.
Wait, what?
He's in the trap. He's in the
Trap
trap.
and weak stroke?
Yes,
Got
bitch.
it.
What does weak stroke mean?
Yeah.
It was like erratic rhythm. I was just like, oh my god. And then it was like,
I thought you meant like a stroke, like a,
I would
like
have rather that.
1,000 years old.
I would have rather that last night. And then I was trapped because we were in Long Island and he picked me up. So I was like stuck in his house waiting. And I'm like,
That's what happens when you go to Long Island.
bitch, I thought he would, look, again, when it was supposed to have been something magical, and I was like, oh my God. Like, you're Puerto Rican. You shouldn't
Trapped,
have.
weak stroke. I'm weak for that fucking god. I live. Anyone else? Let's go.
I would say cosmic.
Cosmic.
Yeah, like.
Ooh, all right, girl.
good.
That's really
Okay,
good.
so I don't know. Whenever my husband and I fuck, we stare each other in the eyes and have this intense connection. It's very cosmic. It's very like floating above your body bullshit.
Ooh, I
like,
love that.
It's really good. I don't know if he'll get mad that I said that.
I'm not gonna get mad.
But cosmic, hot, no spit.
Dry.
Dry, absolutely dry. Dehydrated.
Patty is like thinking.
Well, I'm over here thinking because I'm trying to figure out how I would even be like concise about it. Like, you know, there's like
3 words.
Or just 3, I don't know. Yeah.
Description.
Yeah, description. Doesn't have
tall, prolonged, talkative.
to be talkative. Is
that a good thing?
Wait, was talkative good or
We'll
talkative
leave it
bad?
open to interpretation.
I hate when you hook up with a guy and they won't leave afterwards. Especially
God.
in Europe, bitch. We're not friends, okay?
I don't speak your language.
Get
Where you
out.
to go?
Like, get
You have a
out.
nice
Oh.
place, Monet. What do you want?
No, and I hooked up with a guy in Italy, and I mean, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He came over, everything happened, we were done, and he literally would not leave. I was like, oh my God, go the fuck home. bitch.
Oh no, see, I gotta let them know, sweetheart.
so
you
annoying.
Honey,
gotta
if you
go.
staying at the Mondrian, I'm not leaving. I'm there.
Woo! Things are getting hot in here, girl. Tune in next week for part 2.